Oh, we're actually going live.
And we are live. Welcome to the new decade.
You're welcome. We did it for you. We made time pass, and it worked. We're about to make a lot more time pass over the next hour with
Approximately 1 hour.
10 amazing articles.
Oh, yes. And by amazing, we mean
Okay-ish.
one or two of them are okay-ish. The rest are they're articles.
Yeah. Samsung made a finger tracking keyboard. Last time I saw one of these, it was pretty terrible. I believe it was by Leap Motion, but I can't be sure.
Oh, okay. Now I know what this is going to be. Gotcha.
Yeah. Tumblr tries to prepare for the 2020 election and teach its users or parents or teachers. It tries to teach people how to detect misinformation through some videos, as the looks of it.
Hashtag fake news.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, robots deserve $25 an hour for pay for their hard robot labor. Or that's just how the math works out.
Gotcha.
This interesting article from The Verge. Or not, that is from The Verge. Superhot VR apparently grossed a lot of money in 1 week. More than a robot can make.
In 1 week.
Yeah, in 1 week.
Yeah.
Flexit, the VR gym app that you didn't know you needed.
And you probably don't.
And you probably don't need it.
Yeah.
This one has me a little confused. I tried to read it.
Which one? The next one?
No, the gym one.
Oh, yeah. The next one's pretty similar. The iPhone connected smart toothbrush you didn't know you need. And you probably don't.
Hey, we're live.
Pretty similar. SpaceX launched 60 more internet satellites into space today, bringing their total up to 180. iPhone claimed the United States' top 9 most activated smartphones from Christmas Day to New Year's Eve.
Top 9.
The top 9. The first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth.
I just read this correctly.
And then Huawei got 10th.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Is there even 9 different iPhones for sale?
Apparently.
All right.
I guess. Yeah, that's actually, we can look at the article. It did have a list. Speaking of smartphones.
Chromebooks.
Samsung released a $1,000 Chromebook.
It's the most expensive Facebook machine.
Don't forget, you can also check your email.
Yeah, and the YouTube, and that's about it.
Interesting.
So we all know about the Wi-Fi 6 standard, and if you don't, it's because it's super confusing. Wi-Fi 6E is over the hill. It's coming up towards us. 6E is looking to go onto the 6 gigahertz bandwidth. A lot of devices are now doing the 2.4 and the 5 gigahertz.
5, yeah.
Wi-Fi 6E is looking to go on the 6 gigahertz, but it gets super confusing when you look at different standards like WiGig and Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi AX. It gets really confusing, and we're going to talk about naming schemes and how Wi-Fi and USB can't get it together.
I don't think anybody can really get it together. Windows can't. That's for sure.
It's been in order better.
To be kind of fair, actually, Apple's
doing
pretty decent, at least for their iPhones.
Yeah, until they went to like Pro and then Pro Max and then Pro Max Plus.
Yeah.
But
decent,
they get the years right.
Yeah.
I know where the 11 stands.
11 is after 10.
Yeah.
Probably the next will be, 12.
We hope.
They did kind of skip 9, right? But, pretty decent.
So did Windows, so
yeah.
It evens out.
Yeah. Is there something about 9 we don't know?
9.
9. All right. Samsung's Selfie Type could turn any surface into a smartphone keyboard. So when I read the title of this article, I had no idea what it was talking about. I know we talked about finger tracking for VR and like VR controllers tracking your fingers, but it wasn't until you started reading off this title that I realized this was going to be a kind of like projected keyboard with a camera that would detect your typing.
Yeah. So it looks... I have two mixed feelings on this.
Yeah.
One, I see it as the old Leapfrog. I believe it's Leapfrog. I don't know. it might be Leap Motion or something like that.
Mhm.
But it would project a red laser grid onto a table.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it was a device you stuck on top of your tablet or
Mhm.
something. It projected
Yeah.
like a laser keyboard, and then you would just hit the squares.
Yeah.
And it would detect where you're hitting, and it was garbage.
Okay.
And everyone hated it.
Yeah.
On the other hand, keyboards are getting pretty good, like the swipe keyboard and autocorrect.
Yes.
Autocorrect is become amazing. You can mistype every letter in a word and it's the right word.
Unless you're trying to type something different, and then
Yeah.
typing what you're trying to type is a pain.
And so I think that the typing technology, as weird as it is, has advanced over the last 5 years
Yeah.
to the point that this might actually work. And then part of me was curious, and the article actually kind of addresses it, is how many people know where the keys on a keyboard actually are?
That's a good question, because also looking at this image, there's no keyboard being projected because I assume it's just working from the camera's,
Yeah.
the phone's camera.
I'm curious if it's one of those things like you don't realize you know what you're doing. Like some people, you can ask them what side of the steering wheel the turn signal's on. They're like, I don't know. But then if they're driving, they know.
Yeah, they
It's
just instinctively kind of know.
But
So if
then-
I were to ask you where the Z key is,
Yeah, it's at the bottom left corner.
but if you were typing, you would instinctively know. And in this case, you did know. But
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. In this
Yeah.
case, I can tell you all of them.
I mean, you you pretty much look at a keyboard all day anyway.
That's one of the best things to do to a customer. It's like, wait, you don't know the keyboard? And then just like you name it out. He's like QWERTYUIOP.
Square bracket, other square bracket.
Yeah. I only know the letters.
Yeah.
And
And all the
numbers.
brackets
I got the numbers.
from programming.
I got the numbers memorized.
You got the numbers in order.
And reverse.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I can say it backwards.
Yeah, but from this image, it looks like it's actually more tracking your joints and your fingers. So it's actually using your body's, like, whatever you call
Yeah.
it,
It's like
to know where you're typing, which would be kind of interesting, actually, if you have, like, differently formed hands or something.
Yeah.
how the software would calculate for that, but it's kind of cool. You never really know how good it's going to be until you try it. But it could speed up typing on your phone. Honestly, don't really type that much on my phone.
Yeah. So it was Leap Motion that
Okay.
did it. Not that it was the hugest deal.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it was Leap somebody.
So I think this has a place, although for me, probably would not use it very much.
Yeah, here's that paragraph I was thinking of. Obviously, this means that selfie type, which is what they're calling this, won't be for everyone. But it also means that it won't slow down its target users because it won't require memory typists to hit precise targets, making it all completely instinct-based process. So part of me thinks that this is more for like people who have to like sit in courtrooms or something, or assistants in an office meeting.
Yeah.
Because it would be completely, at first it would be kind of weird, but then it would be nonchalant to have an assistant sit beside you and they're just tapping on the table, taking.
Could be quieter. And I don't know, I guess you wouldn't have to index on the J and F keys or something.
The presence of it would be not as big as
Yeah,
setting a computer
as a
down
laptop,
on a like a dinner table or something.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But at the same time, who's going to set their phone down on the dinner table either?
That's very true, yeah.
That's the thing is, if I'm going to set something down anyway, might as well be a laptop.
Yeah,
of course, I can't always carry a laptop in my pocket, but so I think there's definitely a market for it. It'll depend on how good it is. Be kind of interesting to see if they could port it over to other phones too.
Yep. One place I think it would be really good is once tablets can do it better, then your tablet cover doesn't have to be a keyboard also.
True.
So then you have a
Slim it down a little bit, yeah.
And then Apple can have a thinner device.
Without a battery.
Without a battery.
You have to carry a battery pack around that charges it as you use it.
But it's a wireless battery pack because there's no cables.
Yeah. Yeah, right. It's really thin other than the battery pack that you have to carry around with it. But on the back of it all the time, you know. Well, interesting concept. We'll see how it works. Speaking of interesting concept, we've got a concept.
It's not very interesting.
From our friends over at The Verge.
Sponsor us. Tumblr is rolling out with an internet literacy initiative to help combat misinformation and cyberbullying. There are several big words in that sentence. With the 2020 election coming up and growing concerns about bad actors using social media sites to spread misinformation, Tumblr is launching an internet literacy campaign to help young users spot suspicious activity. This in really no way is a bad idea, in my opinion. It's all
good as long as you don't introduce too much bias, which I think always tends to happen, introducing some bias.
Yeah.
Just as long as it's, at a minimum.
Yep.
I think it's a good idea.
Their initiative is called Worldwide What? WWW.
Which I think that's already taken.
It's very clever. Okay. Worldwide What? It was developed in partnership with a nonprofit literacy organization based in the United Kingdom called Ditch the Label, which is on the right track so far.
Yeah.
The campaign consists of 6 informational videos that walk Tumblr's community through topics like fake news and authenticity, along with other issues the platform encounters, like cyberbullying. Unlike traditional literacy videos, which Tumblr, there's so many words, Tumblr executives told The Verge, are targeted at parents and teachers. These will use the language and imagery native to Tumblr. That means GIFs, short texts, and tons of memes.
Tons of memes.
They say tons of memes in this article.
So is this targeted at the boomers?
From my understanding,
just had to use that word.
I think it is, though.
Yeah, because when you read it, it says that it's not really, it appears that it's not really written for avid Tumblr users who have grown up on the internet. Grown up on the internet obviously indicates younger crowd.
Yeah.
So it's not for the younger crowd is what this article seems to indicate, which is kind of interesting because that's who I would have expected it to be written for, but.
One thing I do like is one of the is right here. Yeah, you can see it. There are some things that are satire that are meant to poke fun that we don't remove, but we also have to be super vigilant. And so that's a part of the paragraph of one of the fears that is having to remove is that we have to remove real posts. We have to be careful so that some users feel protected and help them learn to apply a little bit of skepticism.
That's true.
And you should always be skeptic.
Yes,
on the internet.
I agree.
I don't know why anyone would need to tell you that.
Even not necessarily only on the internet.
Yeah, that's true. Anyone that ever talks to you.
Especially if they're trying to sell you something.
Yeah.
Like a wire or a keyboardless keyboard.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see the videos at the very least.
Yeah. See how long they are too. Like, is it a short video or is it a in-depth it's a class?
It's 6 45-minute videos.
Yeah.
Netflix original series.
Okay, #
boomer.
fake news.
Oh. Yeah, at the very least we can make fun of it if it's not good.
Yeah. Well, people will make fun of it.
Build a PC, The Verge. Man, more from The Verge over here.
Yes.
This one had one thing that really interested me. I didn't notice it until 2 minutes before the stream.
Okay.
This walking package delivery robot is now for sale. It's yours to take home for a 6-figure sum, which is interesting way to word it. 6 figures. They won't release the exact price, but they say low to mid 6-figure.
Okay.
So we're talking like 300,000.
200,000 or 300,000. Yeah.
That'd be my assumption.
Yeah.
That's where I would consider low to mid. The interesting part of this entire thing that I find, 2 units have already been sold to the automaker Ford.
Interesting.
And all it says is to research last mile package delivery. First thing I thought of was delivering cars to the end user.
This thing is going to be driving them?
Yeah, that was the first instinct thought was this. They hired this thing to deliver the car.
Imagine you're sitting on your front lawn. The car pulls up. Out hops a robot.
And it just jogs back to the dealership.
Yeah. Guess that's my car. Yeah, what kind of deliveries does Ford do?
It just takes the keys and just chucks them at the front door. That is not what Ford bought them for, as far as we know.
Yeah, that would be interesting to say the least.
Is it automated? Is it an automated driving car if a robot's driving it? That's not attached to the car?
Yes.
A separation of robot and machine.
Yeah.
The real interesting one, I want to see if I can find it real fast. They say you can carry 40 pounds. I'm just talking to like.
Oh, interesting. So I'm down here further. There's like a few images here and then slideshow here. It says it's delivery that looks to be the first proper test for Digit, with Ford buying the first 2 units to continue a research program using the robot it announced last year. The automaker says Digits could be placed in the back of self-driving delivery vans and tasked with dropping packages in front of customers' houses. This would take advantage of the robot's bipedal design, which allows it to navigate human environments, including steep stairs and obstacles. So maybe these things will come and place your package on your steps instead of like a UPS employee throwing them down your stairs.
Oh. And then you don't have to have a UPS driver either.
Yeah, because it's a self-driving car.
This gets scary.
There you go, guys. We're all being replaced.
Now, would you be against it if they were like, all right, pizza drivers get a bad rep because there's always the videos on the internet of them opening up the pizza and eating the toppings or spitting on it or something. Would you feel more confident if a robot delivered your pizza versus a human? Or would you rather have a human deliver? On the assumption that you get pizza delivered.
Do I have to tip the robot?
Okay, I guess you don't.
Robot it is. No, I mean, I really don't care. Like, if the robot can do it and do it safely,
Yeah.
Then yeah, I'm all for it.
Yes, the paragraph I had found was right up here. Yes. Digit is now available for the unspecified launch price in the low mid 6 figures. CEO Damon Shelton tells The Verge over email. When factoring in upkeep and the robot's expected lifespan, Shelton estimates the amount to an hourly cost of roughly $25.
Which, that's pretty crazy because
it has to be a crazy good robot.
It better be 3 times as good as an Amazon employee because that's the work, that's what it's getting paid. That's how much it's costing the company.
The worst part is you don't have to pay employee taxes. So that's $25.
Okay, that's true.
So so if an Amazon employee is making $8 an hour, you could say it's costing the company $11 an hour or something like that. Yeah,
or possibly even more just for that's true. So if it's, about as good as 2 employees, then
I would say
you'll probably be
it's easily twice as valuable as an Amazon employee, which is really terrible to say.
Yeah, he doesn't mean it like that, guys. Don't worry.
That really sucks.
In terms of productivity, it's twice as valuable as an employee.
CEOs look at that robot and think that it's worth 2 of you.
Yeah.
That is how it works now. Speaking of how it works now, if you really want to feel devalued, one video game grossed over $2 million in a single week. Super Hot VR. So when I first read this, I kept reading 2 million in 2019 for some reason, not in a week.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's a lot of money, but
$2 million every year is a lot, but
because it's not even a brand new game.
No.
And I was like, wow, it's doing really well.
Yeah.
And then I read in a single week. I was like, what, a week?
I guess that must be because people got. I don't actually see what week it was. I'm assuming it's Christmas week.
It has to be.
Or, the week before Christmas, something like that. I'm guessing it's probably because people got
the new
VR
Oculus
for Christmas.
Quest, that $400 Oculus.
It's even cheap. Oh, no. I'm thinking of. I saw one that was like $125 today.
Really? I never even heard of that. Because Oculus Quest has been way cheaper than Vive recently for a not bad experience. So they include the PlayStation VR sales.
Okay. So it's not just PC.
It says the relevant sales figures have not been released yet. So they're not saying what headsets are getting it. And that's pretty much all the article has.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting that a game like that, and I actually do really like the game.
It's a really good game.
Made so much money because it's been out for, what, 3-4 years?
It's been out for a really long time.
Yeah.
To me, it doesn't really have a replay value of much. There's a limited number of levels.
Yeah.
And once you beat the hour of gameplay, you really don't want to play it again for 6 months.
Yeah, I can see that.
It is kind of fun in an arcade style with friends. Like if you die, you're out, and the next person takes over.
Okay, gotcha.
That's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, it's kind of like it's the same game over and over again. It's the same hour of gameplay.
People do speedrun it, though. Play it lots of times, but people speedrun a lot of games. It was the Oculus Go VR headset that's $150, which I believe that uses like your smartphone as a display or something.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a lot different.
Google Cardboard.
Yeah, exactly. Could be wrong about that.
Okay, but yeah, there's still a chance that other devices. But yeah, 2 million in a week is ridiculous.
Yep. Speaking of ridiculous, and speaking of VR, pay-per-minute fitness club app Flexit gets augmented reality and virtual reality gym tours. So this article I kind of put in there as a joke because
and then
it's a VR gym.
Yeah.
And do I really need to say more?
So I think almost any VR game is a workout, which tells you a lot about my health at the current moment.
Some VR games can be, but what a VR gym? So the point of it appears to be just to be able to take a tour of the gym.
Okay.
So there's something to be said for that. But honestly, I don't really know why you need to take a tour of a gym.
Because I didn't read the article.
Spoiler.
Yeah. I was curious if it was less of a actual workout gym and more of almost like a gym class where you're understanding how muscle works and almost like becoming a personal trainer. And
yeah.
That's what I thought it was going for.
I don't think that's what they're going for. I like what you're saying, though. That does seem like something that, would be more viable than this.
Because then they can be like, all right, find your 5-pound dumbbell, put your headset back on. So then you have your controller in one hand, 5-pound dumbbell in another hand. And then it shows you like an actual graph. They're like, lift it like this. And then you can follow in like, so you should feel burning here or something. And then that's happening because of the leverage from your shoulder. And like it goes into it. That would be cool.
Yeah. More of a personal trainer type thing.
Yeah. But it gets like super in depth for the nerds.
Yeah.
Because that's what we would
VR
like.
Headset.
Yeah. It's like, why does people work out this way? And it gives you like a full breakdown of why this is the best way to do it.
Yeah, but this app appears to be just literally touring gyms. And when I think of a gym, I think of price and then do they have the equipment I need? That's really it.
Yeah, my favorite down here of this was the company is also adding a personal training feature to the core app, enabling users to pay for sessions in 15-minute increments rather than signing up for bundles of sessions or gym memberships. Like pay-per-minute facility concepts. I didn't know pay-per-minute facility concept was a thing.
I didn't really know that was a thing either. I guess there are places like WeWork. Maybe that's a similar concept.
Okay.
Have you heard of WeWork? No. WeWork is like the shared meeting shared office spaces.
Yeah.
Where you can go, I don't know how you pay if it's by the hour. Probably by the hour would be my guess.
Yeah.
You like rent out an office space, like a desk for an hour.
Yeah.
But pay by the minute, I don't think I've ever heard of.
I would just be too stressed to even do anything.
Better make the most of my time. Yep.
Could you imagine going to like an all-you-can-eat buffet, but instead of paying for the food, you just pay for the time that you're in there? So however fast you can eat, the faster you eat, the cheaper it is. And that keeps people from going to a buffet and sitting for 7 hours.
Yeah.
And then just like during prime times, the price goes up per minute.
Yeah. That'd be interesting.
Be great for college students.
Yeah. Just don't eat for a few days and then go in one day and
eat 11,000 calories in 3 minutes.
yeah. $7 later, you
There'd be trash cans
for the
all over the parking lot for people who stop and run out. Pay per minute buffet. Look into it. Might be a good business model. It won't, but it might.
You heard it here first, folks.
I want to check to see if we're actually live.
Oh yeah, I'm live anyway.
I'm live on the YouTubes. I'm live on the Twitters. I'm live on the Mixers.
Wow.
Not the Twitters. The other one.
Twitch.
The Twitches.
4 for 4. It's pretty good.
I hope.
Speaking of things you didn't know you need, and you probably don't, the iPhone connected smart toothbrush.
What does it do?
I'm
trying to get back to my page.
Brushes your teeth
For you?
You still have to hold it in your hand.
You gotta buy the digit, the
robot to brush it. Yeah.
They'll drive in its own autonomous car to your house, deliver your package, throw your keys at you, and brush your teeth and leave.
So I don't quite get it. Apparently, it's like an electric toothbrush that is really good and can connect to your phone.
All right, I didn't look into it all, but part of the article said something about telling the user how they're brushing incorrectly.
Okay.
I believe that's part of it.
This says, through the Oral-B app, the Bluetooth-enabled toothbrush provides real-time individual tracking and coaching based on artificial intelligence from thousands of recorded brushing sessions. The app guides users through a 2-minute brushing session with 3D teeth tracking to ensure the best cleaning possible. I mean, a good thing, don't get me wrong. Brushing your teeth is important.
Would you want how you brush your teeth uploaded to the cloud and compare it against all other Americans?
At that point, I don't even care.
Imagine a data leak like Bill Gates brushes his teeth like this.
This person never brushes their teeth.
And then someone's going to make some type of replay mod. So then it shows like a 3D animation of how the user brushes their teeth.
I would think that people wouldn't have time to do things like that. But if people have time to build this smartphone connected toothbrush, then people probably have time to
reverse engineer.
Do funny things with the Bluetooth enabled.
Yep, it's going to get put into Gary's mod. It's going to be ridiculous.
Play as the toothbrush.
Yeah. Oh, I think we're halfway. I think that was 6 out of 10. We're halfway.
Ooh. Speaking of halfway, this video is halfway sponsored by Jmart Media and halfway sponsored by
Nephew Tech.
Check them out.
That's a whole if you add the two halves together.
Yes, 100%.
Speaking of holes, SpaceX launched a whole lot of satellites in space.
That works.
60, which is a ton of satellites.
Yeah. So we've talked about SpaceX before. Now they have 180 satellites in space, and they say they're going to start broadcasting internet in... What, wrong article?
Yeah, I clicked the one above
it. Oh my goodness.
It was closer. There we go. SpaceX, there we go.
Exactly how much will SpaceX Internet service cost? We still don't know for sure, but earlier this year at a conference, Elon Musk said it would be low cost. Exactly how low is unknown. But reports that SpaceX hopes to make its internet service extremely competitive. SpaceX has also said they plan to offer high-speed internet in North America sometime in late 2019.
Wow.
Didn't happen.
Or
early 2020.
So how late can early 2020 be? Because there's
after January 5th. That's
because there's
yesterday.
Early, mid, and late, right? Because then there's quarter 1, 2, 3, 4. But then if someone says early, mid, or late,
is that like thirds?
I guess it's thirds.
So April.
So sometime before.
My guess is it's going to be after April.
Probably.
because things tend to take longer than people think they're going to take. But that'd be pretty interesting to see. I'd also be interested to see latency. How bad latency is between the satellite internet.
Yeah. That's the worst part is a lot of people think fast internet, but then fast has two defining.
Fast could mean low latency, which is good for gaming, or fast could mean actually a
throughput.
lot of data going through.
Yeah.
Like you can upload videos in a few seconds.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, so one is how big the pipe is, and the other one's how fast the pipe goes.
Yeah.
And so you can have a really big pipe and you put a lot of videos through it, but it might move very slow. So you can get a lot done if you need a lot to be done.
Yes.
But then if you're doing a little thing like Facebook.com, then
If
you really
it's-
don't care how big the pipe is. You care about how fast the pipe is.
If it's one drop of water going down the big pipe,
Yeah.
you don't get the benefit of the big pipe.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's how it works.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty decent, whatever you call it,
But then
analogy.
there's two pipes, one that goes one way and one that goes the other way.
Yeah.
So if one pipe's really fast that way and it's really slow this way, you'll notice. What you want is two huge fast pipes.
Which is probably expensive. But yeah, this could be cool for people like across the Midwest who maybe don't have access to the internet, don't really care about the latency, but just want to be able to check their Facebook
Yeah.
or watch videos.
Yeah, that and I think latency is a little overdone. Because
It is important for gaming, but other than that,
I think it's important for very competitive gaming, but I think a lot of gamers that complain about latency don't actually need it.
okay, yeah,
Because like even here we have terrible latency that sometimes like up in like the 80 milliseconds, and I don't notice it.
yeah. I don't know how bad satellite internet is, but I'm thinking
It's a lot more than 80.
I'm thinking half a second. Yeah,
Yeah.
like 500 milliseconds. But hey, we'll see. This I think is definitely a cool thing, and they have received approval to launch 12,000 satellites into space.
Do you think they can do that all in one day?
No.
Did you think they could do 60 in one day? To me, 60
I would not have guessed 60 in one day, no.
To me, that is a ridiculous amount of satellites to launch at it.
I am kind of interested. I didn't watch the video. There was a video of the actual launch, but I wonder if it was just one
rocket that,
yeah.
and then it like dispersed.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of what I'm guessing. Just because they definitely didn't do 60 launches in one day. I mean, they could have done maybe 2 or 3 launches in a day and sent 10 or 20 each.
Yeah, because I would have a hard time believing you put 60 satellites onto one rocket.
Yeah.
But I also have no idea how big a satellite is.
Yeah.
Like, I also thought the Mars rover was like the size of a go-kart, and it turns out it's like the size of like
A car.
actual,
Yeah.
like big car.
Yeah.
So I have no idea how big a satellite is, and if you could even attach 60 to a rocket, or if it's like 3 to a rocket.
Yeah. Be interesting to find out.
Or if they just slingshot the suckers into space. One real big rubber band.
Yeah.
Oh, what we got next? iPhone.
Apple.
Yeah.
Apple iPhone.
Claims the top 9 spots.
Yes, and somewhere. Here's the list. All right, I'll read over the list. Number 1, iPhone 11. Number 2, iPhone XR. Number 3, iPhone 7. Number 4, iPhone 8. Number 5, iPhone 11 Max Pro. The next number, iPhone 8 Plus. The next number, iPhone 6 Plus. The next number, iPhone 7 Plus. And number 9, iPhone 10. And then number 10, the Xiaomi Mi 4 LTE.
Wow. They did a terrible job putting photos on this website.
Yes.
You think it has anything to do with their weird ads? Their ad is greatly placed for desktop management software. But then their picture is so tiny right below it.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Apple doing pretty
Destroying the
good.
market.
Yep. And that was just over Christmas. I think it was between Christmas Day and New Year's Eve. So a week.
That's crazy. And then there's the other two pie charts here. Let's see. We can make them bigger a bit. No, we can't. That's great. But the 2019 holiday market share by manufacturer, which throws a little more into perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So the blue is the Apple products.
Yep.
Orange is Samsung, and gray is other.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a huge split.
Yeah.
So the first one's the beginning and mid-December, and then the second one is Christmas to New Year's.
Gotcha. And they're pretty similar.
They're split pretty equal.
One thing that definitely helps Apple in this regard is that Apple has, I would say, less phone versions than Samsung. So even if Samsung sells 10 phones, they might sell one of this phone, one of that phone, two of this, two of that, one of this, one of that. Apple would sell more.
And I think that shows on this graph because it's almost split perfectly. Samsung sold half the number.
Yes.
23% versus 42%.
And Apple had the top 9 slots.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you double the 23.5, you'd be at 47%.
Yeah, something like that.
Versus the 42. So it's almost exactly half.
Yeah.
So that means for every 2 Samsung devices, there's an Apple device.
Or every 2 Apple devices, there's a Samsung.
Nope.
Yeah.
For every 2 Samsung devices. So there's a S8, S8 Plus, S8 Active, or whatever.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't get on leaderboards, theoretically.
Yes. I agree to that.
Yeah, your statement's also true that for every
Apple
2 Apple phones sold
2 devices for every Samsung.
Yeah. That's the other. Yeah.
It's pretty insane.
It's a lot of phones.
And expensive phones, too. Speaking of expensive and Samsung.
Chromebooks.
Over
on Ars Technica.
It sure looks like a flashy Chromebook. I'll give it that. That old red color.
That is,
Would you want to own a color like that?
It's almost the same color as my pants. It's not far. Samsung to release a $1,000 Galaxy Chromebook.
Look at that simple UI. It's like 3 buttons.
And then I like the rest of the title. Is the new Chrome OS standard bearer. So I really like Chrome OS and its simplicity.
Okay, yeah.
The problem is it doesn't have any features. I think Chrome
unless
OS
it's on the web.
Would be great if Google had a really good photo editing software, a really good video editing software.
Mm-hmm.
If it was like Mac OS.
Really good at something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was just like Mac OS, it'd be great.
Simple, but functional.
Yeah.
Rather than
simple.
Simple and
I'm
web.
glad we're on the same page. Like, I do 90% of my stuff on Chrome. That's true.
Yeah.
The problem is the other 10% that I need to do. I can't just not do 10% of the stuff.
The display on this thing is a 13.3 inch 4K display, which is going to be some tiny pixels, let me tell you.
So that's one thing I hate. We're going to switch over. You keep talking about this Chromebook. I'm going to pull something up for you.
Yeah, at that point, if you've got a screen that small, I don't know if you're going to even notice that resolution.
All right. I found the website. NVIDIA's Automotive Screen Density Calculator. I use this sucker all the time.
Okay.
What's that resolution?
It is 4K, so it's 3840 by 2160.
So we're going to type in that resolution, 3840
by 2160.
2160. And then the screen size is 13.3 inches. 13.3 inches diagonally. That's how the screen works. Viewing distance. You say most people view their laptop at 2 feet?
Yeah. So that's a pretty good.
Oh, we got to keep it on that. There we go. So we're going to switch our viewing distance down to 24 inches. All right. So here's how this works. We put in our screen pixels. Oh, I just cut all that off, didn't I? So our screen
There we
pixels, we're at 3840 by 2160. That's our resolution for our screen. Our screen size is 13.3 inches. Our viewing distance is 24 inches. That's about 2 feet. I mean, this might be a little farther than 2 feet. Not the point. Then the visual density. This is 141.4 pixels per degree of field of view. So, like, if you look all the way around you, it's 360 degrees field of view.
Yeah.
Most people, I think, is like 170 or something with peripherals included.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And then it's like 8% or something for actual focus. It's something tiny for focus.
Okay.
And so this part down here, it shows you that 141.4 ppd is better than 2010 vision. So 2020 vision means that it's like the average perfect vision. So someone with 2020 vision can read something 20 feet away that any other person could read 20 feet away. So 2010 vision means you can read something 20 feet away that a person would only be able to read at 10 feet away.
Yes.
So it's twice as good as normal human vision.
Yes.
So how big of a screen should you have
for 2020?
For 2020.
I'm going to go ahead and guess 1080p because that's essentially half
the screen
4K.
Size. How big
screen size?
To have the 4K.
23 inches?
At 2 feet away. So to have the screen size 4K at 13.5 inches. Oh, I changed the size by accident. 13.3, 13.3. Gonna make this way huge. Oh, I'm changing the wrong number. That's why. I messed it all up.
Okay, gotcha.
So we have a 4K screen. How big of a screen?
At 24 inches away.
At 24 inches away.
I mean, I'm going to guess 26 inches, but I see we're already way past that.
Yeah. So the PPD, which is the pixels per degree, has to be 60. So there's 60. So it has to be 34.4 inches of a screen size at 4K at 2 feet away. So this thing is way too high resolution, in my opinion. It's super confusing. I think I just lost a whole bunch of people.
Anyway, small screen, a lot of pixels.
Bad.
You can't even tell how many pixels there are.
I think
basically.
I think it's not worth the battery.
Yeah. Or the price.
Even on my phone, I have it set down to 1080, the lower resolution, just the HD. I turn off the HD plus, so it's at the 720 thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I don't need the extra pixels running. I would rather have the phone battery. And if you were to just hand me this computer, I'd say thank you and then turn down the resolution. I don't know why you would want that many pixels at that small of a screen. But somebody does because they made it. They wouldn't have done it if you didn't buy it.
Also, big numbers. People will buy it.
Yeah, that's true. Big price tag. People will buy it. Man, this one's about to put me on a tangent so long. We're going to hit over an hour mark.
Sweet.
So we have 17 minutes to discuss this one topic.
Faster Wi-Fi 6 will be called Wi-Fi 6E if 6 gigahertz spectrum is available.
So they're kind of going after the Apple naming scheme with the 6E, in my opinion. This is over on VentureBeat. So Wi-Fi 6 was basically Wi-Fi AX rebranded. So we had, everyone's heard of the Wi-Fi B, G, N. It's like, oh, we have Wi-Fi N. And then there was Wi-Fi AC. I think there was A, but we skipped it realistically.
Okay.
There's AC, and then there's AX. And then AX got rebranded to 6.
Wi-Fi 6, okay.
And now Wi-Fi 6E is looking at being released at the 6 gigahertz spectrum. So we still have now the 2.4 gigahertz and the 5 gigahertz. So when you connect to your Spectrum router, like most people do, they have the normal random Spectrum key, and then there's the second one that's like 5G.
Yeah.
And so That's the difference, is that the normal named one is the 2.4 gigahertz, and the 5G is the 5 gigahertz. And now we're looking at upgrading up to the 6 gigahertz.
And the only difference between those two really is that 5G, is it a little bit faster?
It's a little bit faster.
And it can penetrate walls a little bit better.
It does not. It does the opposite. It deteriorates faster.
It deteriorates over distance, but I think it should go through walls better. I could be wrong about that, though.
Okay. I do think you're wrong, but I might be wrong.
Okay, yeah.
Because my understanding is that the 2.4 goes farther
Yeah.
and is slower, but 5 is less penetrable, but it's faster. I might be completely wrong on that. We're about to find out. And so if that's how it works, then Wi-Fi 6 I would see as even faster, but even less penetrable, unless they're doing something with the power behind it and are able to put a higher power in the frequency.
And another thing is just congestion on those bandwidths.
Yes.
So cordless phones, baby monitors, remote controls use the
Wi-Fi,
2.4 gigahertz.
IP cameras.
Okay. Yep. So 5G might also help to avoid some of that congestion.
Yes.
And 6G probably the same.
Yep, 6G is going to do the same thing where everyone's moving up to 5. 6 will now be available, and so there'll be a little more free space. The confusing part about this, as he looks up that real fast, is that there's Wi-Fi 6, which will not be on 6 gigahertz. Wi-Fi 6E, which can be on 6 gigahertz. And then there's this thing called WiGig. I'm going to see if I can find it right down here somewhere. Oh, it's somewhere here. Make sure I got this worded right. Yes, here. And WiGig operates on 60 gigahertz. And it's called WiGig. And it's supposed to be even faster. But that does not fall under the 6E standard. So then you have 3 different types of 6s. You have Wi-Fi 6, Wi-Fi 6E, which operates on 6 gigahertz. And you have 60 gigahertz that's not 6 or 6E.
Are you confused? That's the point.
Because everybody else is.
Yeah.
And USB did a pretty good job at confusing everyone too.
Yeah.
It's all a complete mess. I actually have a tool on my phone. I'm going to see what the name is. But there's a lot of them out there. Mine's called Wi-Fi Analyzer. And it actually shows you all the frequencies and all the bands around you.
Oh,
and it helps you choose what Wi-Fi band channel is best for you. For your Wi-Fi. It's definitely something cool to look at. It's nerdy, that's for sure. But it helps separate because if your Wi-Fi uses 2.4 and 5, you have 2 different like frequencies going.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have it, the 5 gigahertz can be on like channels 1 through 13. So if you have 2 Wi-Fi 5 gigahertz and they're one's 12 and one's 13, there's going to be a lot of crosstalk crashing and it's going to be terrible. But if you put one on 3 and the other on 11, there's not going to be much crosstalk because they're separated on the spectrum. I don't think it's the right word, but it works.
Yeah, I would say radio spectrum is right. It looks like you're right about the penetration, though. 2.4 goes through walls and stuff better than 5.
Because from my understanding of it, I look at it as like a height. So 2.4 would be it. The wave won't be as tall, so it would shoot longer. So it's like, and then a 5 gigahertz, it has to shoot higher. So it can have more data bunched up together.
Yeah.
Because they'll be closer together.
Yeah.
It's very hard to visualize with my hands.
Yeah.
But and so that's how I understood it. And
yeah.
so 6 I would see as even tighter together and even taller. But yeah, the way I always look at it is that if you can see the router, then use the 5. If you cannot see the router, use the 2.4.
Makes sense, yeah.
And that's what I tell people because it's way easier
Simple.
than explaining.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, do you have an example? I'm like, yeah. So I'm sitting in my room and I can see the router. So I connect to the 5.
Yeah.
Then I go upstairs to the kitchen. I cannot see the router. So I use the 2.4. And a lot of times the phone will auto choose the faster one and not necessarily the stronger connection.
Oh, so you might have an unstable connection.
Because it's trying to get, but then I'm not sure on if it actually does that or not.
Yeah. It could depend on the device too, actually.
Yes.
Huh.
And one nice thing that a lot of routers are doing now, which I even set up a couple times for households, is they'll have two bands or two 2.4 bands. So you have a 2.4, a 2.4, and a 5.
Okay.
And so I named one 2.4 Jill and the other one 2.4 Bill. And then all of her devices get connected to one of them, and all of his devices get connected to the other one. They're equal. There's no quality of service on or anything, so one's not prioritized over the other, but it splits all the devices up so that they're not all in the same one. And that's literally what it's made for, is to split your devices up so that you can have two devices on at the same time and there's less latency. But then you got the 5 gigahertz band, and you can almost just turn it off for some people.
Yeah, depending on your setup.
Yeah, the house size, what's in the walls at the house.
Yeah, if you have a brick wall house, then
yeah, if it was built in the 70s and there's just a layer of lead in between all the studs,
you better run Ethernet.
Yeah, but Wi-Fi, it's super confusing and not as easy as you think it is.
I wonder how much compatibility there will be between 6 and then whatever we have in our phone.
0
now.
That
6E,
is 6 gigahertz. There's none.
Okay.
Because
that seems bad. I bet you that these Wi-Fi 6, whatever the heck they are, because I'm confused.
6E.
I bet they'll also have an option for 2.4.
Yeah, so it should definitely have to be backwards compatible.
Because that way, if you get your new router, then you can use your current phone. Otherwise, people would be less likely to buy their router.
Yeah.
So it's in the company's best interest to provide some backwards compatibility.
Yeah,
for your current devices, and then when you upgrade your devices, then you get the benefit.
Yeah, I didn't even know that having multiple of the same band frequency was a real thing until I set up for a customer. I was going through the router settings. It was like 2.4 band 1, and then there's 2.4 band 2, and then 5. I was like, do you have 2 routers? I was really confused on the whole setup, and then I realized what they were doing. I was like, that's kind of genius. Yeah, in a way. It's especially genius if there's only 2 people in the household. It works really well. But yeah, so it has to be backward. There's no way you can get away with it not being backwards compatible.
Yeah, no one would buy it.
But then so they would release the routers and the wireless access points first with the 6E, and then you would see over the next couple of years all the phones and laptops.
As your phone dies, you get a new one.
And it would have
you get one with 6E.
Yep. Just like a lot of people's laptops that I'm fixing now can't see the 5 gigahertz in my store. So they can only connect to the 2.4.
Yeah. And I guess with a laptop, it wouldn't make much sense to have a dongle on there since it's already integrated into the laptop.
Yeah. And then the big thing people don't think about with their laptops, even though the antennas, almost every laptop, the antennas go through the hinge, and then there's 2 antennas up at the top of the laptop.
Okay.
Is if you're not facing the right direction, you can't connect to 5 gigahertz anyways, because it has to go through your body to find the router the majority of the time. And your body's 70% water or something like that. I actually don't know, but it's a lot. It's
pretty high, yeah.
It has a lot percent water, and it actually blocks 5 gigahertz pretty well.
That's funny. I never even.
You can get the Wi-Fi analyzer and hold it up to you, and then just turn, and it makes a difference.
Huh?
It's kind of cool. It's super annoying.
Is that a free app?
It's a free app, legally free. Download it off the Play Store.
Nice.
It's called Wi-Fi Analyzer. The symbol is like a Wi-Fi symbol with a little speedometer thing on it.
Okay.
It's kind of weird, but I've been using it. There's ads. It works.
It's pretty cool.
But yeah, if you aren't confused about Wi-Fi standards,
you should be now.
Yeah, because I thought that they were gonna have this solved. We're getting into a big tangent because I finally understood that like a router would be like a N300, N900, AC12, AC13, AC1750, and I would tell customers the higher that number is, the more expensive the router will be and the faster it will be, because the 900 meant it's 900 megabits between the download upload.
Okay, yeah.
And so
gotcha.
And then I just told them to buy the biggest number that they can afford with their current money in their pocket. They don't need to go crazy once you pass a certain number.
Yeah.
And then they released the Wi-Fi 6 standard. And so now they don't some boxes don't specifically say the speed on them.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of it just being like it's a 3200 AC router, it's now a Wi-Fi 6 router. Like, come on, just put a number on there. It's way easier to explain to a customer what the numbers mean than what the letters represent in a number form.
Yeah.
I think that's all my tangenting on the Wi-Fi standard.
That's pretty rough. Yeah, we've talked about naming schemes before. Between Intel, Ryzen, Windows.
So I actually had to go on the Linus Tech
NVIDIA
forums. I'm going to see if I can pull up the picture real fast. Because I couldn't find out what the USB standard was. And I had to ask...
Scrapyard Wars.
I typed in Linus Tech Tips and it pulled the YouTube channel and not the forum.
What's it called? There you go.
All right. Let's see if I can find it. I'm not logged in on this computer. USB type. I might have to log in.
You have to wait 9 seconds before attempting to search.
We're signing in.
What is that? I've never seen that before.
So I have a headset that has this weird USB standard. The Amazon listing says it was USB-C. I got it, unpacked it. We're going to actually open this as a separate image. Open image, a new tab. Full screen. There we go.
Okay. Oh.
So this middle one's my USB. They called it USB-C. This is USB Mini. This is USB Micro. Micro is used for like a lot of the old Android phone chargers.
That's what I have, Micro.
And Mini is like what microphones.
A lot of times cameras use Mini.
Yeah, or peripherals or stuff like that. And then I got this one.
I don't know if I've ever seen that, but it's not the USB-C I'm familiar with.
And instead of it having 4 pins like normal USB, it has 8 pins that go down to 4 on the other end. So it's 4 on one end of the cable and 8 on the other end of the cable. So it was like, it's a really hard thing to Google. And this is USB, the Universal Serial Bus.
Universal.
I'm a computer guy professionally for the last 5 years. No idea what this is called still. I found an Amazon link with the adapter I needed, and that worked.
Dang.
It's super annoying that Universal Serial Bus is not very universal to the fact that they have a mini USB and a micro USB that are almost the same size.
And then whatever that is.
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy.
It's a nightmare. Stay out of computers. If you're watching this.
Or, get into computers, start building some agility robots. Sell them for 6 figures.
Yeah, or make a real universal bus. Make a UB. Teach some people how to count. That's all we got, I think.
That's all I got.
Are we allowed to shill for a moment?
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna love this.
You buy the domain?
No.
Oh, nice.
Look at that.
Nephew Tech.
YouTube,
Twitch, Mixer, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Ooh, a Twitter too. Nice.
I got all the links.
Actually.
Nephew Tech.
Nice. Do those links actually go places?
They do go places.
Nice.
That's all they do, actually. They don't do anything but go places.
Hey, there are some links that don't go places. There are some links that just go to 404 not found.
My website used to do that. Oh,
that's true.
Sweet. That's all we got this week.
Hey, and it is 9 o'clock. We went for an hour. Join us next
minutes,
week.
12 seconds.
Wow. We're going to talk for another 50 seconds.
We're going to tech about so many things for 20-something more seconds.
I actually worked on a project this week.
Was it interesting?
kind of. I'm gonna make a video about it eventually. I bought an LCD display and some kind of backpack thing that converts the LCD display or USB to the LCD display. So I have an LCD display that I can plug into my laptop for some extra pixels.
For some extra pixels?
Yeah. No, it's 16 characters by 2 rows.
Okay.
So I can just put text on there. I have it at my desk at work now. Just sitting there with like text or whatever.
Trying to figure out what you could use it for.
You could use it for displaying subscriber count at your house or something.
Oh, that's a good.
Or,
yeah.
You know, the temperature or something. Just something random. Kind of a fun project.
All right.
Yeah. You work on any projects?
Maybe release next week.
Ah.
I gotta get some opinions on them first.
Ah. And that's what we're going to go do. So
yeah, exactly.
we'll talk about it next week.